So, hello everyone. Good morning, ladies and gentlemen, and distinguished guests. I want to really thank you all for being here today. My name is Dino Fortunato, and I'm the Chief Technical Advisor at UNIDO ITPO Italy, and I will be glad to be your moderator for today's session. First of all, I would like to extend a very warm welcome to all of you, and we really appreciate that you are taking time off your busy schedule for to join us today. So I'm really glad to hosting today's UNIDO event about the digital future of sustainable industrial manufacturing in Italy and beyond. So this event, after the first one conducted last week by our headquarters in Vienna about investment and technology promotion, is the second in a series of the three organized by UNIDO in the framework of the EU Industry Week 2021. In this case, today we will explore the shift of the Italian manufacturing sector to a digital economy and how it contributes to the EU competitiveness in a changing global landscape. We are really honored to welcome to this stage today, to this virtual stage, this truly fantastic lineup of speakers that are virtually connected from Italy and Brussels to share their experience with us. Indeed, we have here 5 representatives play an important role in this field. We will have very soon, I hope, Mrs. Ulla Engelmann from the European Commission. We have some technical problem with her, but I hope that she's able to join us during the morning. We have also Professor Marco Tai from Politecnico di Milano, and also member of the World Manufacturing Forum Foundation. Mr. Franco Scolari from the Alto Adriatico Technological Pole, Mrs. Cinzia Guido from Confindustria, and Mr. Fabio Golinelli from ABB Italia. And of course, also our UNIDO colleagues, Diana Battaglia and Patrick Gilabert, who will give us also their insights about the UNIDO role in this process. So everyone, for sure, they will offer us their different and also complementary perspectives to explore how this partnership across institutions, industry, and academia can also support and increase this wider adoption of sustainable advanced manufacturing technologies. First, also, I invite our audience, that is really a huge audience who is with us today, to ask the question directly in the Q&A tab here in Zoom. As soon as you have one, you can write your question, and of course the speakers can also reply directly, or even if we have time, we can do at the end. So with that, let's begin. To open proceedings today, it is my great pleasure to welcome to this webinar Mrs. Diana Battaglia, who is the head of the UNIDO ITPO Italy. Diana, please, you have the floor.
Distinguished guest, I'm delighted to welcome everyone. Thank you for joining today's event, The Digital Future of Sustainable Industrial Manufacturing in Italy and Beyond. I would also like to thank my colleagues, Patrick Gilabert, UNIDO representative in Brussels, and his staff for convening this initiative in the framework of the EU Industry Week 2021. I'm really glad to be part of this conversation. It is a pleasure for UNIDO ITPO Italy to host this session with such a remarkable and varied pool of speakers representing EU institutions, academia, technological poles, and Italian business community, all virtually connected from different regions of Italy and Europe. Today's discussion will revolve around the impact of the fourth industrial revolution, which is quickly gaining momentum in the field of industrialization and manufacturing. We are indeed witnessing the many different ways in which digital technology are profoundly transforming production and shaping the future of manufacturing in Italy, Europe, and entire world. Industry 4.0 is about the digital innovation in products, processes, and business models, both for large private and public entities, as well as for small and medium enterprises alike. It represents a source of opportunity that we simply cannot afford to miss. But why is digital transformation so difficult to implement? Part of this reason is we often lack trust or expertise. In fact, digital transformation requires not only the right tools, but also the capabilities to successfully implement, manage, and refine those. This is why for today's panel, we gathered a cross-section of experts from public and private stakeholders to explore Italy's vision for manufacturing in the shift toward a digitalized economy and to assess the impact of the National Industry 4.0 plan so far, with a focus on its contribution to EU competitiveness in a changing global landscape. UNIDO, together with its network on the investment technology promotion offices, plays an instrumental role in supporting developing countries to build their capacity for Industry 4.0. How? By assisting local organizations and SMEs in creating public and private partnership with international stakeholders and formulating innovation management standards to enable industrial transformation and leapfrogging processes. We also assist in the establishment of global knowledge sharing platform and events like today's session, and to raise awareness on the opportunity of Industry 4.0 for accelerating inclusive and sustainable industrial development. In order to connect the unconnected and to enable people worldwide to reap the benefits of fourth industrial revolution, UNIDO has also recently made a commitment with ITU to strengthen the collaboration in the areas of digital transformation and broadband infrastructure, fostering capacity building and the development of the new international ICT standards. UNIDO stands ready to work with international fora, governments, and business to fulfill the potential of Industry 4.0 toward the achievement of its mandate and sustainable development goals of the United Nations 2030 agenda. And I will conclude with one of my favorite quotes from a person who led a group at his business with invention that started or changed entire industries. It was Steve Jobs who said that the people who are crazy enough to think they can change the world are often the one who do. But of course, he didn't do it all by himself. Behind him, there were leaders that committed to disruption, and as he was. Therefore, in order to disrupt, we need to surround ourselves with people who adopt a pioneer mindset, with everyone uniting the belief that digital transformation is inevitable. There is a unique opportunity for all of us to shape the future of Italy and Europe in exciting new ways. So now I will leave the floor to our distinguished panelists here today with the following question. Are Italy and Europe ready to embrace the digital transformation of Industry 4.0? Thank you so much. I wish all of you a very fruitful discussion. Dino?
Anna, for your opening speech and also for your encouragement to be disruptive. Also to be a little bit crazy, as you said, as Steve Jobs says, crazy enough to think that we can change the world. So I'd like to invite now our keynote speaker, Mrs. Ulla Engelmann, who is the head of the Unit for Advanced Technology, Clusters and Social Economy at the DigiGrow of the European Commission, to join this webinar. So, Mrs. Engelmann, good morning. Would you
Good morning.
please...
Can you hear me well?
Yes, very well. So could you please explain us about which are the EU efforts to foster the diffusion of the advanced technologies in the context of the SMEs, digitalization and innovation processes? Thank you.
Yeah. Thank you very much for giving me the opportunity to present what we are doing to foster the diffusion of advanced technologies. And if we can go to the next slides, I would want to start with the importance of manufacturing industry in Europe. And because it is really an important asset for our European economy, and of course an important driver for employment and prosperity. And it plays a particularly important role also in the research and innovation, and being responsible for 64% of private sector research development expenditure and 49% of innovation expenditure in Europe. So if we look at what the manufacturing sector accounts for, 2 million enterprises and more than 2 billion in gross value added. And employment, about 32.1 million jobs in 2019 were in the manufacturing in the EU 27. So if we go to the next slide, where we highlight a bit the advanced manufacturing, where you use the knowledge and innovative technology to produce complex products and also to improve processes so that you have lower waste, pollution, material consumption. And of course, robotics, 3D, 4D printing, artificial intelligence, but also high performance computing for modeling are important technologies in use in advanced manufacturing. And but also we have two important challenges: the digitization of European industry, but also the shift towards environmental sustainable production. And these are the two, also if we look what was published in the EU industry strategy in March 2020, where we had this twin transition, so greening and digitalization. And then when we add what happened with the pandemic, the fostering of resilience was added to this twin transition. And now we are working on updating the industrial strategy, which will come out probably by end of April. So this twin transition remains nevertheless one of the key areas. So in order in the next slide to tackle the transition and to help, we need, of course, public-private partnerships. And these public-private partnerships between industry and the European Commission also, they help to tackle societal and environmental challenges. So what we said before, this twin transition. And so we have this really strategic importance on one hand that we continue to have the technical lead, but also the creation of high-skilled jobs. And this also brings us to the question of skills and the need of re- and upskilling, which is also something we should not underestimate. And in this context, if I may add, we had launched the Pact for Skills on 10th of November, where we look for partnership. How can we bring together different players of the ecosystem and the value chain to work together for the immense need we will have on re- and upskilling. But if we look now at the public-private partnership, we have the examples, Factories of the Future, as one of the PPPs, which the Commission created in order to strengthen Europe's industrial competitiveness and sustainability, and by highlighting the need for research and innovation. And the main results of this Factory for the Future is that around 270 projects have been launched with more than 1,500 organizations participating throughout Europe. And there, out of this 1,500 organizations, 32% are SMEs, because it is very important to include our SMEs in all these efforts in the public-private partnerships, but also what I said before, in the re- and upskilling, because SMEs on their own will not be able to come up with re- and upskilling programs. That's why we need the partnerships where they can be included. And the success of these factories of future has also inspired then national and regional programs. I would, in the next slide, want to highlight what we have made available from European side. We have what we call the Advanced Technologies for Industry platform, which exists since last September. So I really invite all of you to have a look. The website is at the end of the slide. We call it ATI, because there we publish regularly analyses, and also we monitor systematically the state of the uptake of advanced technologies by EU industry. And this project monitors 16 advanced technologies, digital and key enabling technologies, those who are relevant for the sustainability and the competitiveness of our European industry. And advanced manufacturing is one of the advanced technologies analyzed in this report. So, and you have in this ATI, you have several parts. You have a dashboard, but also, and I think this is particularly interesting, you have a mapping of technology centers, because I think this is also something very important for the SMEs, that they know where to go to. If they need to work with certain technologies, it's good for them to know who to work with. Then we have the ATI Technology Watch, sectorial reports, EU and international reports, policy brief, and an ATI Product Watch. So in the next slide, you see this is really a very rich portal where you can find a lot of information like technological trends, sectorial insights, but also promising products. And this project provides an analysis of policy measures and policy tools related to the uptake of advanced technologies. But it also does international comparison. And to give you one example from the area of advanced manufacturing, 3D printing of hybrid components is an example of an advanced manufacturing product analysis report. And in the next slide, I would want to highlight another European program which we are fostering, European industrial clusters, because also here, for the help for the SMEs, working within a cluster can be very helpful for technology uptake, for being in an environment where we have seen during the crisis that the resilience is much stronger if you're part of a bigger network, and the clusters can help the uptake of advanced technologies, but also the skills question, share infrastructure, help with business development or research. And in the next slide, there is an example for a cluster in advanced manufacturing, the IoT for industry cluster, where you really work together and bridging between SMEs, large companies, and research. And this can be particularly helpful when we look also now in the resilience and recovery facility, where you have flagships like Power Up or Scale Up. And if you have already existing clusters, you can have a much quicker rollout of what is needed for this resilience and recovery facility, where the member states are submitting now their national programs. And we wanted to highlight the potential of clusters for this. This is then also in the next slide, you see examples where clusters are already channeling the funding for sustainable growth, because there are projects where then the clusters for example, innovation vouchers, provide to SMEs and really help the uptake of these advanced technologies. And we have here two examples of clusters. I don't want to go in detail, but just to give you an idea, these are existing clusters. We have this European cluster collaboration platform, which I 2 slides ago I have highlighted. And if you're looking for partners, or your clusters are looking for partners, this platform is an ideal tool for it. And I think I stop here just to give you an idea of what is possible and how important the networking in these possibilities. Thank you very much.
Thank you so much, Mrs. Engelman, for that insightful address, and also, to show us the importance of the public-private partnership to increase the use of these advanced technologies in Europe, and also the example of the factory of the future. So there is no question that we have a fantastic speakers and audience with us today. So now from Brussels, we back again to Italy, where we have Professor Marco Taish. And now, yes, Professor, you have now the floor. And so perhaps taking the question from Diana, so about, if Italy and Europe are ready to embrace this digital transformation. So could you please tell us which is the perception of the digital transformation in the Italian SMEs?
So thank you very much for the question, and thanks for the invitation. I'm very pleased to be here today with all of you to share my view. The answer is yes. I think that we are ready. What we need to do is to find the right way to be ready and the right direction in order to exploit the strength of the country, the strength of Europe, and somehow taking up the opportunities that I think we are going to have in the near future. The COVID, the pandemic, I think has been, let me say, sad to be said, but has been an accelerator of the awareness, especially in the SMEs, of the importance to be fully digitalized. There were a lot of actions taken by the governments, taken by Europe, in order to support the SMEs, in order to push them to work into the direction. And we have seen many examples in the previous speech with all these clusters, the launch of the Digital Innovation Hub and Competence Center initiatives, European funded project like the one from the Factory of the Future. But let me say, I think that SMEs were still a little bit sleeping, right? Or they were not understanding what is going on or what was going on. COVID has waken up them. I've seen that now there is a much more interest in going digitalized than a few months before. They have realized that if they want to be resilient, if they want to be productive, they have to be fully digitalized. So it's not anymore a matter of, I want to go Industry 4.0 because this will increase my efficiency, my productivity, but they have understood that being digitalized is a prerequisite to be in the market, to be into a globalized market. And I think this is somehow a good news. Now, the question is, what is the direction in which they have to go? And I think I want to share with you three ideas or three directions, options that they have to take. The first one is that they have to exploit more the so-called industrial smart working. Be careful, it's industrial smart working, it's not smart working. So I'm not saying that they have to do conference call in the factory. I'm saying that they have to fully exploit technologies like augmented reality, virtual reality, wearable devices, real-time and remote monitoring of factoring and machine in order to run their factories in a more efficient way. That means that they have to adopt the technologies from one side, and from the other side, they have to invest in skills, upskilling of their worker, and the skills topic has been already addressed. So the industrial smart working, I think, is the direction in which we can have a more connected factories Is not issue of connecting machine with machine. Here is an issue of connecting machines with people. Here is a matter of connecting factories of SMEs with the factories of a larger company and the OEM in the supply chain. That was number one. Number two is that digitalization has to be seen as an opportunity for implementing new business models. Italy is the second largest country in Europe in terms of machine tool builder, is the fifth one in the world. We are exporting machines. We need to change the business model. It's not just selling machines, but we need to sell connected machine which can later on enabling the service providing from the SMEs which has delivered the machine. Let's think about remote maintenance or predictive maintenance. Who knows better than who designed the machine how to maintain the machine? This is the company who made the machine. Instead of leaving the maintenance to the customer, why don't we provide to the customer smart maintenance services? It's a new way of creating business model. Remote testing, giving remotely suggestion on how to improve the performance of machine. We have done a study in which we expect that in the next 4 years, smart maintenance services will increase by 4 times the value at global level. This is a huge opportunity for Italian SMEs and for European SMEs in general. The third point in which they have to go is it's represented in the title of today: sustainability and digitalization, green and blue. It's over the time in which sustainability was seen as a independent trend from the digital trend. They have to merge together. Digitalization, I think, is the stronger enabler for really having and going towards a sustainable economy, a circular economy, a circular manufacturing. So again, digitalization not only for improving the efficiency of the factory, but this is digitalization as an opportunity for going towards new trends. And let me say that you mentioned the word manufacturing forum. I'm the scientific chairman of. This is going to be exactly the topic of the 2021 events where UNIDO is part of it. But how to tell SMEs, how to transfer this concept to the SMEs, because of course that's what we need to do and what we are doing here in Italy. Let me share a best practice, which I think we are having here, is that within the National Plan of Industry 4.0, we have created in Italy 8 competence centers on Industry 4.0 and 21 digital innovation hubs. They are funded by the Ministry of Economic Development in fully implementation of the European Union program, which was launched on 2016 with the creation of this concept of digital innovation hubs and competence center. This network is fully operating, it's perfectly working. I'm connected today from one of these 8 competence centers. You can see something on my on the back. Just to tell you why this is a best practice, from the December the 10th, when we opened this facility, we had more than 180 companies, even though we were, in kind of lockdown. 180 companies, SMEs, has visited it. We were able to transfer to them and create teaching and awareness to them with more than 6,000 people from 3,000 different companies. And this was only one competence center. So you can see that this business or this approach is working, and I think should be extended. And we are, in this perspective, looking forward to be selected as one as the European Digital Innovation Hub, which is now the European program, which is open at the moment, and I think will really foster the way that Europe can really involve SMEs in this transformation. Thank you so much, and if there are any questions from the audience, I will be pleased to answer.
Professor Thijs, for your really comprehensive and also clear intervention. and it's really your concept about this industrial smart working, and also the work that you are doing with the competence center is really an opportunity for the SMEs. So talking about industrial smart working, now from Milan we move to Pordenone, where we have now Franco Scolari, who is the director of the Alto Adriatico Technological Pole. Franco will give us also a focus on this pragmatic perspective on how it's happened, this transfer of the new technologies to the Italian SMEs. So even if you can give us also some examples, Franco, the floor is yours.
Thank you, Dino. It's always hard to talk after Marco, that studied after me at the same Politecnico of Milano. I'm a little bit older than him. I wake up more or less 25 minutes before Milano because Pordenone is Easter. So we compete a little bit because we wake up earlier. The region where is located my pole is a very industrial, mechanical. There are companies like Electrolux. We manufacture refrigerators, we manufacture washing machine, we manufacture IKEA furniture, etc. So we are devoted to manufacturing, and we are super focused on industrial transformation. So I pick up the question, will Italy, will Europe? Okay, I don't talk about Europe because, of course, I have a connection. I visited several companies. Marco and myself, we belong to a trilateral meeting, and we joined, we used to stay together, France, Italy, and Germany, to talk about technologies, approach, and whatsoever, to share best experience. Now the COVID stopped, but we will start very soon. So which is my answer to the question, what will happen to Smes? What I personally noticed, and probably I like to share with you, is that with COVID, and somebody has said, we had acceleration. Everything is going faster. We know every evening at 6:30 how many COVID we had all over the world. Somebody says that the globalization is over. Globalization is going on because we have the same procedure to know how many cases there are in Italy, in France. So everything is faster. Everything is shared. But within the acceleration, what I noticed is that the average speed is faster, but not everybody is running at the same speed. And this is a problem. When Mr. Draghi made the first announcement as Prime Minister, he mentioned the Gini index of diversity. During the COVID, we had the rich person getting richer. Amazon, he was gaining, Jeff Bezos was gaining 1 billion per day, and the poor are increasing. Talking about Smes, my experience, we have small companies really moving fast, changing the business, jumping in new technologies, having a lot of courage, and we have other, and Smes is often conjugated with private entrepreneurs. There is the owner of the company. And this owner, they want to innovate with evolution instead of revolution. The fourth industrial revolution is not an evolution. We need to jump in new technologies. Maybe Marco is much younger than me. I used to say that when I was a student at the Politecnico, I wanted to understand how a machine works. We wanted to dismount an engine. We wanted to what is a battery. I want to understand the function. In our days, the technologies are moving so fast that we don't have the time to understand the technology. How is a touch screen? Your son, Dino, doesn't know. He touches and he had the function without knowing. But this must be applied also to digital transformation, because I want to show the result of an algorithm coming from artificial intelligence in giving instruction to maintain predictively a machine without understanding the way the algorithm is done. And this, for my experience, is crucial, because if we try to explain how all technologies are merging together, how fast we change the business, we will lose several, I don't want to say many, but several companies that after the COVID, in example, they want to restart as before the COVID. This is a tremendous mistake. There's a question. And another example, Marco Teich, Professor Teich mentioned the remote management of a machine. So the manufacturer of the CNC is instructing the user how to do and whatsoever. But an example of the gap that is created in these days, for my knowledge, the contract concerning the responsibility of the usage of a robot, maybe we will ask Golinelli how we manage it. Because if the owner if the manufacturer of a robot is telemanaging the robot itself and something is going wrong, who has the responsibility? For my understanding, Confindustria is working to up-to-date the maintenance contract of the remote management, but nothing is clear in these days because technology is going much faster than the culture of people. And I want to put another subject. I work much better with companies and Smes and people that do not have experience. Experience is a heavy burden to jump in the new changement and technology. It's much better to start from scratch than to start with a lot of experience. At the last World Manufacturing Forum, we were discussing with Professor Teich about the gap of skills. We don't have enough people to manage the revolution, the digitalization. But it's obvious that it's much easier to work with a young guy without experience than with an old blue collar that remembers how to explain his creativity that is now totally unuseful with a machine that performs much better. So a lot of Italian companies will win the battle, will jump into full digitalization, moving into servitization, receiving benefits from selling services instead of product. This, I have plenty of experiences within Smes. Smes, it means 20 million company making plants, equipment to make the wine or the beer, instead of selling the equipment, they lend they place the machinery, and they are paid per bottle. This is a pure let's say like Rolls-Royce is doing with the motors, like a normal machine to make copies. So we have a lot of experiences of stars, of lighthouse, of winning experiences, but the burden of the old experience and the resistance to jump with trust, because the culture means also trust in the new technology, is what I'm worried about.
Thank you, Franco, for this pragmatic approach that you have, and of course, you know, the technology, as you said, is going faster than us, and sometimes so we need for sure the young generation to be disruptive, as Mrs. Battaglia was saying, you know, to support in this process also the digitalization of the Italian SMEs and the entire world as well. So now from Italy, we back again to Brussels, where we have Cinzia Guido. Cinzia Guido is the Chief Operative Officer and Senior Digital Advisor at Confindustria, the Brussels delegation. And so Confindustria, as we know, is the most important confederation of industries in Italy, and they are also part of this plan Industry 4.0, you know, of the government, and who are also supporting the SMEs to, as they say, the hashtag Preparati al Futuro. So to be ready to the future. So Cinzia, please, how Confindustria is supporting, you know, the Italian industries in this digitalization process?
Thank you. Thank you. Good morning, everyone. Thanks, first of all, for inviting Confindustria to this very distinguished panel today, and also very timely. I mean, as it has been said already from all the other panelists, it's true. I mean, the manufacturing sector was one of the most important sectors also during the COVID pandemic. It was like undeniably affected by the crisis. So it's very important today to talk about this and to talk about how like to help manufacturing sector and SMEs in the recovery phase. As Confindustria, obviously, we are trying to do our best to accompany, let's say, company in this path, both in Italy and at European level. In particular, here in Brussels, we work with European institutions in trying to like find new ways of cooperating with the public sector, and also in trying to push for a new, let's say, industrial strategy and phase that could really help companies in this new recovery phase. I would like just to mention what like also the President von der Leyen said at the beginning of the opening speech of this EU Industry Day. She really praised industry for its resilience during the crisis, but also she mentioned a couple of lessons that we learned during the pandemic crisis, and that we as Confindustria we totally share. The first one is definitely that during these months during which we fought the virus, we had the opportunity to experience really new ways of collaborating with the institutions by building new agile alliances. And this is for sure to try to be faster also in helping companies. And this for sure, like for us, the first step, like to start this really recovery phase. We have to find, as also our representative from the DG Growth just said, we have to find new private-public partnerships and to try to cooperate together in this path. Then the second lessons we learned, unfortunately, is that I mean the dependency of digital technologies from Europe, like from the rest of the world, is definitely very high. And we need to like build a, let's say, more diverse supply chain, as also President von der Leyen said. I mean, we as Confindustria also worked with the World Manufacturing Foundation. And personally, I had the pleasure to coordinate this focus group during the summer that really worked on the impact of COVID-19 in global industrial value chain. And one of the outcomes of our work was indeed the need of policies that could support a smarter, diverse, and also more secure supply chain globally. First of all, because in Europe, we experienced during these months really the need from many businesses were looking to find alternative suppliers, and especially when they were like SMEs, they were a bit more oriented towards Europe than larger enterprises. So in this background, policy really needs to support the growth of excellence in strategic sectors in Europe, and manufacturing is definitely one of those, as has already been said today. So greater public investment is needed also in the field of smart manufacturing, in particular, digital manufacturing, digitization of the manufacturing sector. And that's why now we really welcome the fact that the Commission has just announced that probably on the 27th of April, they will come with a new industrial policy strategy that should really cope with fully with the impact of COVID-19 on the economy. And because there is in this new scenario, the need to reorient, let's say, the priorities of European industry to protect Europe's competitiveness, to be ready to really like to answer to comparable shocks in the future. And in this new industrial strategy, what we expect is actually to address also the need to invest more in the digital capacity, which has been proved to be actually crucial during the crisis. Digital technologies allow students to study, people to work from home, to shop, but at the same time, they really, let's say, accentuated digital and technological disparities. It was obviously, let's say, online classes were not feasible for students without computers, as much as like smart working was not an option for workers without connectivity. So there is still a long way to go. I mean, as it has been also with the European Digitization Index, we still know that there is a really lack of digital skills in Europe. Telecommunication networks have shown to be strategic pillars during the crisis, but at the same time, we have to keep them up to date. We need a friendly and also legal, technological neutral legislative framework to allow, to encourage investment in the digital technologies. And we need Europe really to invest in the data economy, to capitalize on the growth of the global data economy. To do so, and to invest also in artificial intelligence, we think that a prerequisite is to push on some initiatives such as that of Gaia X, so a European federated cloud, where Confindustria is really working committed to, if you want really to have a vibrant data economy, a competitive European data economy, where all SMEs and also especially business users can have a voice if they are really engaging with big cloud providers coming from all over the world. In this context, and given that we know that there is a long way to go, what has been also proposed yesterday by the European Commission, so this digital compass with precise objectives to be achieved, such as that of a digitally skilled population, secure digital infrastructure, digital transformation of businesses, digitalization of public services, is what we need right now. So we really need the precise milestones, objectives to be reached. Because indeed, digitalization of the industry will be key for Europe's recovery, and our policymakers should really support this going forward. In Italy, obviously, one unfortunately of the lessons we learned is probably that the basic elements to make a modern country work like ours in the past have been really probably highly underestimated. Last year in May 2020, the Bank of Italy in its final report was saying that the delay with which Italy was embracing the technological revolution was one of the structural cause of its, let's say, lack of competitiveness and economic growth. We in the European Digitization Index, we ranked last year 25th. Although we were ready in the 5G, we were ready in digitizing our businesses, but still there was a long way to go, especially when we talk about human capital. So that's just to say that we are working on this together with the government and with the European institutions. We welcome the fact that the government has increased the 4.0 transition plan and strengthened in the 2021 budget law. Probably still more can be done in helping in addressing the issue of liquidity or access to finance for companies. We are also engaged with the Ministry for Economic Development in helping SMEs, as it has been said, in particular in helping with this initiative, which is called Cantiere PMI, in helping them to really be part of more innovative and bigger supply chains in order really to allow them to really grasp the tools and to use the tools of this national plan and to really invest in Industry 4.0. So more or less, this is like what we are trying to achieve both at the European national level. But I mean, I will be still here for the in case there are any further questions.
Thank you so much, Cinzia, for your presentation, and also to illustrate us how much you are doing to support this digitalization process to be ready to the future. And as you said, there is so much to do, but I think that we are on the right path. So, but the future is now, and we are already in the future. And talking about the future, we have here also a representative of a very good example of this new technology application. So we will move now to Bergamo, where we have Fabio Golinelli. Fabio is the Advanced Process and Technology Manager at ABB. Also, with his team, he will also illustrate this ABB reality. ABB is the leading global technology company that energizes the transformation of the society and the industry to achieve a more productive and sustainable future. So, Fabio, the floor is yours.
Okay, thank you. Thank you for the invitation to this important event. I will share my screen because I have a presentation.
Yeah, you can do, or we can do for you. Yeah, perfect.
No, I will do.
Great.
Okay, can you see my screen?
Sì.
Okay. Okay, so I will start to share to you the Dalmine case, telling you a story of transformation. And I would like to start to explain the need for the transformation. It is a need to be always more and more competitive and in advance than our competitors, especially in the emergent markets. In Dalmine, we have three factories. On the left side, we produce medium voltage components. This is an assembly to order process, low volumes. We speak about 70,000 pieces per year. This is in any case, this is the biggest factory in the world for medium voltage components. Not within only within ABB, but all over all the competitors. Here the challenge is to be able to manage the complexity and to be very flexible. On the right side, we have the second factory where we produce the medium voltage switch gears. This also is very complicated. It is an engineering to order process. In the middle, we have the service where we manage spare parts, installation, commissioning, and retrofitting. One step back, the first transformation started in 2008. We went to Japan to study the lean manufacturing, came back and built our operative model. This is important for the second transformation, that is the digital, because the lean is the base to start the digitalization. In 2015, instead to go to Japan, we went to Germany to study the Industry 4.0 with the Fraunhofer Institute and Confindustria and Politecnico. And now I will launch a short video to give you a general for a background on advanced automation and digitalization in the different steps of our process, starting from the mechanical working to the material handling to the assembling and testing. Sorry, I have to go back. Okay, this just to give you an overview. Later, after my presentation, there will be a quick virtual tour with Mauro Innocenti. For the future, we have been awarded by the Italian Ministry for the Economic Development as one of the lighthouse plants in Italy. And the project is covering the 3 factories where we produce the complete portfolio of circuit breakers, medium voltage in Dalmine, low voltage in Frosinone, and the micro circuit breakers in Santa Palomba. Which are the objectives? First of all, for ABB, there is we have a double role in the digitalization. The first one is that we offer a very huge portfolio of digital solutions to our customers. On the other side, we implement this digital solution in our factories to be more competitive. And so our factories are a real demo of this digital solution. The second task is to be a benchmark and to support the Italian industry, and then to be a leader, a technological leader within our group. How we imagine the factory of the future, of course, must be reliable. We produce safety products, so we must be absolutely reliable from a quality point of view. And so we have a program to reach the 0 defects. We must be reliable as a supply chain. We must be efficient. We must be very, very flexible. so adaptable, because there is a very the new launch of new products and change of volumes. We must be ready to support this. Of course, we must be sustainable, but also attractive. Attractive is very important on three sides. The first one is to be attractive for our employees, both white collars and blue collars must be work very well in our factories. You have to know that our factories are air conditioned with alimentation by photovoltaic system. So in the summer time, you work in a comfortable way in our plants. We must be attractive for the young talents, and we must be attractive for our customers, that they can come or in remote virtual tour see their orders in production. So the roadmap for the lighthouse is according these 10 areas, starting from the autonomous and automatic flows. Of course, the collaborative robots, a lot of big data analytics for both predictive maintenance, but also predictive quality. An important project, long-term project for the additive manufacturing of metal parts for series production. All the world of the digital twin and virtual factory, circular economy, IoTs, and very, very important is the digital supply chain, because in our case, more than 60% of the added value is along the supply chain. So to be digital, we need to bring all our suppliers to this digital journey. And here we have made an important project. We have made a digital assessment of our suppliers together with the Digital Innovation Hub Lombardia and Confindustria Bergamo. And then we have, together with the suppliers, designed a clear roadmap for investments and digital solutions. And also together with the competence center of Marco Taitz made, we proposed support to the suppliers and show to them practical examples of digital applications. At the end, there is the people. Also here we have made an assessment of the maturity level of digitalization, both for white collar and blue collars. We discovered that also within the blue collars, we have some gurus, because at home they have drones, they have 3D printings, and with their children, they make some programming. And now we are going in these days to launch an internal challenge, an internal open innovation challenge, starting from the bottom. So there will be spontaneous groups that will apply and participate to this challenge. Okay, I will stop here. If you have any questions.
Thank you, Fabio. Thank you for illustrating us the ABB lighthouse plant, and you know, all the fantastic things that you are doing there. But so let's move because we don't have so much time
Okay.
to the virtual tour. So Mauro will show us so he can share directly the
Yeah.
his
Good morning,
screen.
everybody. Yeah. Can you hear me?
Yes.
Okay, I'm starting.
Yeah. Great.
Okay. Okay, I switch from the other camera so that more interesting than me to see. Okay, I will go through the factory. Good morning, everybody. I'm Mario Innocenti, and I am of the Dalmin 3 factories here, apparatus, service and switchgear. And now we are going through the apparatus factories to have a quick tour and see the most interesting application that we introduce in this factory. Okay, I starting from this point. This is the daily meeting. Here in Dalmine, we have 6 main production line. This one is the one primary line, the OP line, that cover very huge part of the factory. So from this point to the ending point at the end of the factory. And I will show you the logic of this line that we apply into the other one. Before start, I show you the first point of the line, that is the daily meeting. So here, as Fabio said, we have people 4.0 because we start here with every morning. We start here with a meeting, and the supervisor of the production line with the blue collar has a daily meeting to check all the main area, starting from safety. And you can see here with my colleague Federico that helped me, the safety panel. Then we have an overview on the production, so the production KPI. And then, so the supervisor collect all the problem, all the improvement, all the issues that the blue collar say to him during the first meeting at the beginning of the shift. And then at 9 o'clock every day, the supervisor report to the other colleagues from, for instance, from my side, for the maintenance, for the industrialization, for the quality, for the process engineer, all the topics, all the issues you can see is a file in order to keep and to involve people, to raise the problem, to
We lost the connection, I think, with the factory. Sorry, this is really live experience. So
Exactly.
now.
Yeah. Yeah. And okay, I show you another thing that we have improved, and we are improving now. This is the our Scala, so our visualization way to keep under control the maintenance. We start with the first application with this automatic trolley that I can show you, the yellow one that you can see in the factory. And here we have actually the trip and the position of this HGV. You can see that one of them is behind another one, so there is an alarm. The optical sensor for safety is on because there is an obstacle, and so we can have immediately this information here on this desktop, but also from, for instance, for my PC, for as maintenance manager, or for the personal computer or the maintenance colleague. Now I go directly on the shop to see more closely the production line. Here we have the one primary line. Now is all the color in the canteen for the stop for eating. And I show you here the logic of the production line. We have a supermarket at the beginning of the production for basic components because we have a huge variability, and the supermarket into the external warehouse for the customization item, because we want to decoupling the huge variability that we have, as Fabio say, as an assembly to order, an engineer to order. We have to decoupling this variability from the production line. So all the material are moved at the beginning of the line, and we start the production only when we are sure to have all of the material. So we go through the basic part, this and the picker, the blue collar with this yellow AGV, go into the supermarket, and as everyone, me, you go to the supermarket to collect all we need to eat food. We don't have this thing here, but we have poles and frame and structure and circuit breaker, and go through this corridor, collect the item, and then put all of the material into the production line. Okay. Then, as you can see here, and then we are going to see in a while also at the end of the line, we have in every critical part and in every production line, we have a board that monitoring the takt time and the production of the line. In this case, is the output of supermarket. So we have a daily target of 130, actual 48. So we compare, we should be 47 due to the takt time of the line, and we have a good day, so we have +1, and this is for all the production line and all the critical parts. Then, as I said, we have this tray full of the item for the customization. We have in this buffer directly from the external warehouse, and then the basic circuit breaker that we see at the beginning of the supermarket came out from here, and this shuttle has to matching the two components into one. So we have the customization item and the tray plus the tray with the circuit breaker, and we can see an instance just there. It's just complete a mission to put the circuit breaker into the customization item. So this is the second part of the line. So the customization part of the line, when we have a different production line, mini production line for the different type of circuit breakers, so in according to the cell design. Okay, and as I said, we have also at the end of the production, we have a general board with the daily production divided into the main product. Okay, now I will go through the other production line of the factory. I show you the secondary line. This also in this case we integrated as the one primary line, two products, so two different technologies. In the circuit breaker in vacuum and the circuit breaker isolated in SF6. And we apply also here the same concept of the supermarket, automatization in handling, in quality, and the integration and cell design. You can see here, this is also the same logic. So we have basic part, and then in this part that you are seeing now, the customization one, and you can see the another shuttle, but that with the same logic do all the handling of the production and move all the circuit breaker in automatic way without any efforts from the from the people. This because here in Dalmine we have a huge variability of the product, so it's not easy, but we are working every day to do automation in assembly. But what we can do is automating in handling, quality, and so on. And now I'm going to show you an application of an automation in assembly. This is the SEC robot. And this is a very critical way to assembly. We have the disconnector. So the robot pick up the cover, the upper part, clean the seat of the gasket, because this product is filled with SF6, so it's very important, it's very critical to don't have any leakage. And then put the grease on the upper contact, make picture in automatic to have a quality control, and then put the upper part. We can see also here the result of the test, so that there is the right quantity of grease on the upper contact, and then put the cover on the lower part of the disconnector, and then started the real assembling phase. So this is very interesting because it's a robot that performs different operations. This for us it's very critical because we don't have, as Fabio say, huge volume. But to have a payback of this investment, this robot do different operations, so to avoid the manual one. And now we start with the 28 screw for 2 different cycles. So also for the quality point of view is very critical, because you can see that the robot do across sequences to guarantee a smooth assembly of the GSEC, avoiding breaking on the cover. Now I show you the last one of the last application that we have done very interesting. That is the collaborative robot. And we have our Yumi that assembling the contact, the chamber arc for the earthing contact. I'll show you Federico now helping, and you can see that just communicate with the robot with his hand, so in a visual way, and Yumi start to assembly the chamber arc. So it's very important in this way because as you can see, there is no protection. The blue collar work very close to Yumi. And just by visual, we have this interesting head. Just by visual, you recognize us, and I can only I show you now with my hand to stop Yumi. Okay, let's try this one. Okay. And now we just finish the operation. Just a second. Okay. You don't want to hear me because it's finishing the product. Okay, so you can see that in automatic, put the finished product ready for the final assembly. Okay. I think that from my side, I complete the tour. I will disconnect. If you have any question, it's Fabio is available.
Thank you so much, Mauro, and thank you, Fabio, for this amazing virtual tour of the Digital Factory. It is really an opportunity for many participants who are also connected from different parts of the world to have this virtual experience and then to see how it works, the industry of the future. So it's really an excellency on Industry 4.0 application. So we are really glad to this virtual tour. Thank you so much. So we don't have so much time for questions. For sure, when we are talking about the people 4.0, and we have for example, one question associated with the risk or the social risk associated with the Industry 4.0, which is, he said, increasing unemployment and many workers are losing their jobs. And so he is asking, what is the solution, for this? But for sure, on that already Professor Thijs answered that in this case, Industry 4.0 puts the workers at the center, because the Industry 4.0 indeed is a job creator, because makes also the people more competitive. And so this is a very positive trend that they are already monitoring, that the Industry 4.0 will create but new jobs. So if you have more questions, you can write to us, you can write directly to the speakers, but we don't have so much time now. So I will give the floor to the UNIDO representative in Brussels, Patrick Schilabert, for the conclusions remarks. Patrick, you have the floor.
Dino, thank you very much. And dear speakers and Diana, thank you so much for this session. And yes, we've got a large number of questions. That's why I've put my email, in fact, in my picture. So participants, don't hesitate really to contact us or to contact me for any questions, and we will be pleased to revert to you. I'd like to make 3 very short points at the end of this morning, which was very fast, I have to say, because all the subjects were very interesting. So number 1, industry. And industry is very, very important, as we have seen this morning. 2 million enterprises are based in the EU. 2 million companies are industrial companies, which generate 32 million jobs in the 27 member states. That's a lot for the EU. But when we look at the worldwide picture, it's 500 million jobs, in fact, which are related to manufacturing. And these are 500,000 jobs, direct jobs, which generate 3 to 4 indirect jobs. So in fact, we are talking about a business of 2 billion jobs worldwide. And of course, with the COVID-19 impact is huge, with industrial growth minus 6%. So the industrial growth has decreased by 6%, and we can imagine in 2020 what is and what will be the impact on jobs creation worldwide and the EU. So in UNIDO, we promote industrial development, inclusive and sustainable green industrial development, inclusive for all, and this session has really showed that Industry 4.0 put the person at the center of the process, and we also promote sustainable and green industrial development. We do it in and for all emerging countries worldwide and all developing countries, because we are the United Nations, of course. So we work in Africa, we work in Asia, Latin America, and in Europe, of course, with our network. In the field, we have a large number of field offices worldwide to really discuss with all member states. We have technology centers and ITPO, these very important ITPOs, investment and technology promotion offices in Italy, in Germany, in Tokyo, in Seoul, and in a number of countries. So we provide technical assistance and we facilitate partnership within the UN family. Like in this case, we work with ITU, with UNESCO, with ILO, with FAO, and we work also with the EU. That's a very important partner. That's why UNIDO has an office here in Brussels. First of all, we have the partnership with EU member states. They are the founding members of UNIDO in 1966. And we have started to work on a formal way with the European Commission in 1993. So we have this long-standing cooperation and partnership with EU member states and with the European Commission. And especially with Italy. Italy is a long-standing partner of UNIDO. And as you have seen this morning, Italy has a lot to offer to Europe, and Italy has a lot to offer to emerging and developing economies. So once again, thank you so much, Diana and colleagues and dear speakers, for this morning session. Last week, as you know, we had the first session on investment promotion and ACP countries, because we especially work in African and Caribbean and Pacific states. And in 2 weeks, we will showcase Germany and investment and technology transfer for economic recovery, and especially what is the partnership Germany has developed in Africa. It is on the 24th of March, and you are all invited to attend. And last point, because what we heard is so rich and so interesting, we will prepare a report or maybe a book on the insights of the 3 sessions, and we will be pleased to share this report with all of you, of course, all speakers, but also with all participants. We have your contact, and so in a couple of weeks, you will receive the report of the 3 sessions. So, Diana, Dino, dear colleagues from Italy and in Brussels, thank you so much again. And Dino, over to you. Thank you.
Thank you, Patrick. So we are just in time to conclude, and really would like to thank you all again, all the panelists, and also this big audience for participating in this UNIDO's second session in the framework of the EU Industry Week 2021. So thank you for your time, and also for all the contribution to this discussion. As Patrick said already, the next event is the ITBO Germany sessions on investment and technology transfer from Germany as a driver for economic development in Europe and Africa, that will be held on 24 March at 2 p.m. European time. So we hope also that you join us on this third webinar. Thank you so much. Have a nice day. Thank you.
Thank you.
Ciao.
Thank you very much.
Ciao.
Ciao
Ciao.
Fabio.
Ciao.
Thank you very much.
Thank you. Bye.
Ciao
Ciao Marco. Ciao Diana. Ciao.
Ciao, bye-bye.